Today is March 20th, so if y'all are listening to this episode on March 24th, it's because Charlotte was able to work some magic and
Like a boss.
edit in like 4 days. So
Good luck.
Godspeed, Charlotte. Well, what's going on, folks? Hi.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to our podcast.
It is Yeti
Walks into Basecamp.
talking
Through.
hiking. You want to tell folks who we are if this is their first episode listening in on?
Sure. I'm Basecamp. I am Yeti Leg's wife. First of all, we are a married couple. And then secondly, we thru hike. We ultra run, hopefully do an ultra race this year. We backpack. We explore. We adventure. Yeah. And who are you?
My name is Yeti Legs. She also forgot to mention that we own a husky. Her name is Loba.
And she is cuddled up beside me on the couch. She got a vaccine today. She got a heart and tickworm test today. She got her blood drawn today. She got a lot done today.
And she was told that she is about 1.5 pounds overweight.
She's too big, apparently.
Damn.
She's getting a little chunky.
That's muscle mass is what that is.
We do work her at least 4 miles on average a day.
I can still feel her hips, which is like the indicator for if they're too fat.
Right, but the doctor said that you can still feel her hips, but barely.
Stop it. Yeah, because they're covered in muscle.
Well, she's covered in fur. She's like a fur ball right now from all the winter. I
know that doctors spend anywhere from 4 to 8 years or more getting their licenses, but I don't always believe what they say.
We'll see how her blood work comes back, but sweet girl, she is cuddled up right now sleeping. You took her on a cute little hike earlier, and you said she was done after 2 miles?
But she was swimming in the snow. So that's us, Yeti Legs. Marie is in film. I am in ecology, and we enjoy our podcast. This is our decompression of the Pacific Crest Trail hike that we did in 22, and we've got a lot of other types of episodes mixed in. So if you're interested in gear brand interviews or other hiker interviews, go check those out. But this episode is continuing on with our PCT saga.
PCT, 3 years later.
Yeah. This is going to be week 14. This is days 92 through 98 on the PCT. Do you have the document pulled up?
Yeah, I was trying to figure out where we were.
Okay. It's the stuff in bold. I even wrote little notes over there for you.
I see that. You made it easy for me. It's really cute how Wesley really does keep us on track with like what we did on the PCT, because I don't remember. I remember highlights. I remember the big stuff.
Well, if it wasn't for this, we would be like kittens on the episode. Herding kittens. It would be chaos.
Who would be hurting the kittens?
The tempo of the episode would be hurting us. Yeah.
That's funny. Well, should we do the drink of the choice?
We should do the drink of the choice. So this is a coffee oatmeal stout from Westbound and Down, which is over in Idaho Springs, Colorado. If you ask me, they're a little too heavy on the coffee. I do love a good stout, a good coffee stout even, but the coffee has made it extremely bitter. So just prepare for that. It's got a high IBU. What about you?
I'm doing a red wine. I typically do more red wines in the winter because we're not as active. I feel like we're active, but we're not as active. And then I typically do beers in the summer, I feel like.
Yeah, kind of. Because we're more active and you want a good beer when you've been sweating.
Light, cold beer, yeah. But I'm doing a red wine called Los Fronteras. It is a 2021 red blend. I think it's from Argentina, but it's really exciting, and maybe I will contact them and see if we can become ambassadors and they do have a program. It's called Naked Wines. For those of you who are interested in wine, stay tuned. Maybe if I can get an ambassadorship with them, I'll give you a link to get a voucher code to get this. But what's super cool about this company, Naked Wines, is they, you order wines and they give you massive discounts, and then they invest in smaller wineries all over the world, and they find these up and coming small business vineyards of people and they invest in them. And so those vineyards make wines for this company.
Business vineyards of people. That sounds like a Donald Trump quote.
It makes no sense, but yet it does. But yeah. So what's cool about this is that you can select your wines or you can let them select them. And I've been able to get a whole case of wine under $100 with shipping and get the case within 4 days.
That's kind of nice.
3 to 4 days. And I mean, if you think about this, you're saving money if you are a wine drinker, because here in Colorado, I would spend 10 to 15 on a bottle, and that's for a shitty bottle, just a cheap, bottle.
So if you do the math for a case, so 12 bottles,
it's like $8 a bottle. And these are like $20, $30 bottles. Like these are nice. Like Wesley's tried them with me. I mean,
yeah, some are pretty good.
Yeah. Like you can get a lighter red, you can get darker reds. You can kind of do your pick, whites if you want. But yeah, so
Los
Fronteros.
Cheers.
Cheers.
That's a fun fact. Did you know back in olden days, beer used to be the go-to drink of choice in certain areas, especially like England and Denmark, so like Finlandia area, and really a lot of Europe, but also wine too. But anyways, they would drink beer and wine because the water was unsafe to drink.
Oh, I did hear about this. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you have fermented these beverages, the alcohol kills off the germs.
It's just so funny.
I know. They didn't have aquatabs like we do today, back in the day.
Speaking of aquatabs.
God, that's a great segue. I know. Aquatabs is sponsoring this episode of Yeti Walks in the Basecamp, talking through hiking. You could go check them out at their website and use the code Yeti Walks into Basecamp to get 15% off. What is Aquatabs? It's basically chlorine-based tablets that treat and purify. Well, they don't purify. They treat your water whenever you're out in the backcountry, or if you're in an area with unclean water from the taps, or if you're trying to treat the water in your RV. Aquatabs is good for all that. It doesn't filter out anything because it's just a tablet of chlorine, but it will treat that water and make it safe to drink otherwise. So go check them out, Aquatabs.
I want to say one thing about Aquatabs. We're actually pretty sure that we got the norovirus from...
The norovirus on the Arizona Trail that we didn't finish because we got norovirus.
Yes, well, come to find out, we heard from one of the trail angels that a lot of the hikers are getting norovirus around the Gila River, which is where we got it. And Sawyer does say on their website that it does not fully filter out things like norovirus or specific viruses.
Because they so tiny. That's why.
Yeah.
But you're not going to get worms if you use a Sawyer filter. That's good.
That's true. That's good. But what I'm saying is the Gila River, we didn't chlorinate. We didn't aquatab that specific water.
We did not. We gravity filtered it with a brand new filter, and it filtered in less than a minute. It was like butter, and it was wonderful, and we drank the water. We even flavored it, but we didn't treat it.
Yeah, we didn't put aquatabs in it, and we should have. C'est la vie. But yeah, from this point forward, I will be chlorinating as much as I can.
Well, before we get into our PCT week 14, do you have any updates? Any Cotton World updates?
Not really. Life, I'm working in film, freelancing.
We've both been sick.
I've had a sore throat. It's finally stopped hurting as much today.
We had 3 days, 2 nights in a cabin in the woods for Marie's birthday recently, and I was basically down and out for the count.
He literally slept. Couldn't get out of bed. Poor Wesley. It's okay. It was a really beautiful cabin with a wonderful fireplace, and so we got to cozy. What about you?
My capstone is due in exactly a month today, so I got to put the pedal to the metal and get this all done and presentable. It's all about trash on trail. We had a lovely lady, Laurie Starr, in Arizona, who was a trail angel for us, and she was super interested in it. So whenever we have more to tell about it, I'll be happy to share that. The last thing I have is, we have a Patreon, folks, and you can join the Patreon for free. You don't have to pay anything.
Yeah.
So there's a free subscription, and we still offer like some posts and stuff to folks who are not willing to be a paid subscriber, which is completely okay. But if you do want to pay, we do have a subscription for that, and you'll get a crap ton of photos and other videos and stuff from our episodes and whatever else we want to gift you. Maybe we'll have swag one day. Who knows?
I think we will.
Like stickers at least.
Yeah.
That would be fun. So go and join our Patreon. You can find a link to that in the show notes.
Yeah, we really want to push people towards that.
Because we want to do a hiker meetup. And you don't have to be a paid subscriber. Just join the Patreon, the free one, and let us know if you would be interested in an online hiker meetup where we just do this with y'all and drink beer or wine or whatever
water,
your drink of the choice is.
Tea, coffee.
That.
Yeah. We really want to do this. So go over to our Patreon and just sign up, and then we'll figure out when we can do a online meetup.
All right. PCT week 14, day 92.
Week 14?
Week 14.
Day 92.
We're right at halfway done with our tail.
Wow.
I know.
This was, so we got into Kennedy Meadows North the episode before, and this is kind of monumental because this feels like the end of the Sierra Nevadas, like the hard shit of the Sierra Nevadas.
The hard shit, but not the total end of it.
Right. But this is like, you feel like you've, like the passes and all of those are kind of behind you at this point.
Which is funny because there are several passes we do in the next few days.
But they're not like as significant as being inside of.
They're not as significant,
right.
Yeah.
As being inside of the Sierra Nevadas, I think. I don't remember them being as terrifying.
I remember one being pretty bad. You remember Carson?
Whoa, wait. Carson Pass is sounding very familiar.
Carson Pass is the road, but you got to like climb a saddle and then descend into Carson Pass, and the saddle's unnamed.
Was that when you got hypothermia?
No.
That was
time.
Donner.
It all blurs together.
Sorry, it all blurs
it?
together. Yes, but Kennedy Meadows North. Remember Kennedy Meadows North?
Uh-huh. Do you remember what we did on our zero in Kennedy Meadows North after you cried in front of the front desk folks? And
the sweet woman.
Yeah, and they gave us a room that night, and then they gave us a cabin the next day.
Not to be like, okay, when he says cried, he makes it sound like I was like boo-hooing in front of her. I literally shed a tear. I wasn't even trying to. It was just that I was so tired. I was so hungry.
And tear.
And there was and tear. And so she felt bad for me. Yeah, but she gave us a cabin the next day.
Yeah, this was all happening while Bigfoot was eating one of 4 different breakfasts.
Oh my God.
In the cafe.
A surmountable amount of food.
He's nuts.
He can eat so much food.
I really wish he could have been on this episode. That would have been a lot of fun.
I know. Bigfoot is just a jolly man. I do remember, so we took a zero. Do you remember anything about this day?
I remember that they have like a hiker tent area out back, and that's where a lot of the folks were hanging out. And I think they had washing facilities to wash clothes, hiker box, little cute general store where we had a box sent to. So we picked up our box there. And we resupplied with a few other small things. We kind of just loitered around, honestly, until we could check into our cabin. And I remember this night we had a dinner planned with all of our other hiker friends. You remember that?
I do. I remember Bigfoot, Mama Troll, Mud Skipper, Tap 17. There was someone else.
What was that girl? Fizzy? I don't know. But I do remember that the restaurant had
yes, and no, it was a prime rib that you ordered, and you couldn't finish it or something. It was huge.
It was like 12 ounces of prime rib.
Yeah.
God, that was a lot. It was
you
wonderful.
Did, but you were really. I think
weren't
you stuffed after though? You were like gross. You were like disgustingly stuffed.
I was struggling, but I still found it in myself
was it that night?
to have sex with you. Yeah, because we had the cabin, so why not?
Whenever we could be by ourselves in a private place.
But I do remember this. This is like the last thing I remember from our zero in Kennedy Meadows North, which is, again, like a giant campground with cabins, y'all. I remember Mama Troll doing a shakedown with Bigfoot. And I think I mentioned this in the last episode too. But he was making him take all this junk out of his pack and ask if he really needed it and if he didn't need it. If he didn't need it, he tossed it. If he really needed it, is there a lighter substitute? So one of the things that Bigfoot decided to get rid of, because Mama Troll talked him out of it, was his sealskin socks. If you don't know what those are, they're waterproof socks.
We are going through a lot of snow, but he's not using them.
We're going through a lot of snow and a lot of flooded trail.
Yeah, but Bigfoot said he wasn't putting them on.
So you know what Mama Troll's substitute was? It was lighter. Gallon Ziploc bags.
Yeah, and Bigfoot did it.
We'll post a photo of him standing there the next night with Ziploc bags on his feet, which is ridiculous.
Funniest thing I've ever seen. And he actually wore them.
He wore them, you know.
Well, and the reason this was all happening is because we mentioned in the last one that Bigfoot had back problems, and we hadn't seen these back problems yet.
Yeah, we just knew about them because he told us.
Yeah, he just mentioned like sometimes his back will catch, and then once it catches, he can't get up. Like he's like bent over like a hunchback pretty much.
Yeah, like he'll be standing with amazing posture and then you catch him like 2 hours later and his back is hunched over.
But we hadn't seen this yet. Like he was just telling us about it and I was like, okay, yeah, whatever.
Sweet Bigfoot.
I can't wait to tell that story.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I remember the general store wasn't impressive by any means. And I think it was one of those like super overpriced places where they take advantage of through hikers. So honestly, send yourself a box if you can there. It's not, I don't know. Like you won't really find anything impressive there, I don't think.
Yeah. And that goes out to you too, Tahoe Dynamite. I know you're about to start the PCT very soon.
Tomorrow.
Is it tomorrow?
Oh my God.
On the 21st?
21st, I think is her permit start.
Oh, when you're listening to this, if that's the right date, I hope we remembered right. Congratulations on your start. You'll be listening to this after you've already made it to Lake Marina.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Oh, happy trails, Tahoe Dynamite. I know you're going to crush it.
And you know what's ironic is we meet Tahoe Dynamite this week that we're talking about.
This feels so...
This is Kismet.
This is Kismet.
Right?
Oh, my God. That's crazy. This is when we met her. Okay.
So while Aquatabs is sponsoring our episode, this episode is dedicated to you, Tahoe.
Tahoe. This is dedicated to you. May you crush it out there. May you feel all the pain and all the joy.
And if you're curious about something, just go and do it.
Yeah. Anything else about the zero and the dinner? I don't remember anything else besides that.
We just had to book a shuttle to get back on trail the next morning, like super early.
Which a lot of people were on.
If the shuttle was booked, it was.
This is when it all started. From this point forward, the feeling of competition, because people started catching up to us into NorCal that started bragging about how they were doing 40 miles a day and 30s and 35s and 40s and starting out that way and stuff. And so they start catching up to us at this point. And a lot of the snow had melted out of the Sierras.
Yeah.
They were hitting the Sierras when there wasn't crazy snow and having to use ice axes.
Yeah. I would love to go back through the Sierra without snow and see what it looks like. I bet it's cool.
I hear it's gorgeous. But I do remember this shuttle, and I remember the people in it. One guy was like panicking about how he didn't think he was going to finish. But he was like pushing like 25, 30s every day or something. I don't know.
Which is crazy because he was where we are and we weren't super stressed about finishing. We just knew that we had to keep going.
I got super stressed like a week or two later.
Yeah, in NorCal.
Yeah, but he was super stressed. He was like the rabbit in Alice in Wonderland.
I'm late.
It's for a very important day. That was this guy.
Yeah.
And we never saw him again. Or did we? Did we run into him later in the trail? Maybe we did. I don't know. I think we did. I was like, wow, you're going real fast, buddy.
This is probably this shuttle. So the shuttle's full of all these people. Half of them we don't know, but the other half we do know. And the shuttle does take us. I don't know how I always get stuck in the damn front seat talking to the driver, but the driver was an older fella. I was talking to him the whole time. And he drops us off back at close to where we got picked up. And this is my only regret of the whole trail. I didn't walk back on the other side of the street.
Yeah, it was like 50 feet.
And so we have a continuous footpath except for that road.
That 50 foot.
Damn it.
So sad.
But you know what? We still have a continuous footpath in my heart.
I would say so.
Close enough.
Yes, it's not like we skipped miles.
And I think after the shuttle driver drops us all off, we're the last ones to leave.
Of course, always are.
As we are. Because we're putting on sunscreen, putting on body glide, getting our pack ready. We've got fanny packs. It's a whole process to gear up.
Well, and everybody's already left though, but there's this, I remember this girl, her name was like Sunshine or something. She was She looked Scandinavian. She had like super blonde hair. We'd never met her before. And then there was this guy who's super like stressed out about not finishing.
And a couple other youngins.
And then a couple other people we'd never met either. Like these are all the first time we're meeting them. And we're like, where the fuck did you guys come from?
I remember the name Sunshine, but I don't remember the person.
She had like super blonde hair. We never really saw her again. She was really nice.
I feel like you ran into a lot of negative interactions with female hikers.
No, I think I had great interactions with females, but some of the females get competitive.
Is that what it is?
As weird as that sounds, like they want to be the best female out there or something, and it gets a little weird. But all the females I was friends with, we all loved each other and didn't compete. We all just were there for each other.
Yeah.
But some females do get a little competitive, yeah.
The female world.
But Sunshine, I don't remember that being her. She had super long legs, and she was like really fast. That's what I remember.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I just remember we got dropped off. We were the last, of course, to start. And then we're the last to get to camp.
But we weren't hiking in passes. We were just hiking like in kind of like meadows surrounded by these cute little rocky, peaky things. And a lot of the trail was under snow still. And we got lost a few times. We lost the boot track. So we would have to keep pulling out our little app on our phones to see where the red line was. Notice we're way off the red line. Try and reconnect to the red line. So it was a lot of triangulating to get back to the actual trail this day. So we probably add an extra mile and a half of just detours and stuff. But we did camp with Bigfoot, Mama Troll, Mud Skipper, basically everybody in the whole fucking shuttle. We camped with that night.
Yeah, we just got there last, and we couldn't find a fucking campsite.
But we didn't. We just had to clear it. But they did make a fire, and there wasn't any room for us to join in the fire.
There was no room in the end, and no one would make room for us, you guys. It was the weirdest experience. Like, I was like, okay, this is weird. Like, we were trying to eat dinner with all of them because they were all hanging out by the fire, and we get there, and no one is like, oh, here, you can sit here. It's just, it was so awkward. And didn't we end up going and eating back in our tent or something? We were like,
yeah, we did, because we were like sitting behind a ring of people, and we weren't really feeling the fire.
No, it was cold.
So we went and ate in our tent.
We were like, all right, you guys have a good night.
But I got really great pictures of Bigfoot in those Ziplocs.
Yes, you did.
Because he put them on to keep his feet warmer. So sealskins not only keep your feet dry, they keep your feet warmer too because they're waterproof.
But the question is did those Ziplocs actually keep his feet warmer?
I would love to know, Bigfoot, how long those Ziplocs lasted and if they actually work for you. Getting some PFAs on those tootsies.
Yeah. But yeah, we ended up doing 17 miles that day, which isn't too bad getting out.
Yeah, that's one of the bigger days we do this week.
We dicked around that week, and that's probably why I panicked in NorCal, because I was like, we should be doing more miles.
Yeah.
But I do remember we woke up the next day, and we're like those people we didn't know. They were already gone. I don't think we ever saw those people again.
Oh, the folks who were packing up were Bigfoot, Marma Troll, and Mud Skipper.
See, these are our people.
The older folks.
These are our people.
They're our people. The youngins are just like there to burn miles.
At that point, that's when we started meeting those people.
Yeah.
I feel like, yes. That was a shock for me.
Yeah.
Shock to the system.
Early and mid-20s.
Yeah, they were so young.
Like, no hate against y'all, but, I mean, focus on, like, enjoying the trail and not the miles.
And brag, like, literally, that would be the first conversation I'd have with a lot of these young people. They'd be like, oh, yeah, I just did 35 miles yesterday. How many did you do?
Do you remember that guy? His name was V.
Yes.
We talk about him later in the story.
Yeah.
But
I remember V.
He's out here pushing 40s, and he's like, yeah, I'm just really trying to see what my body's capable of. Like, me and my friends are all just doing it. And I mean, he was actually a nice kid.
He was a nice kid.
Yeah.
He was.
But I'm like, is this I guess this is you hiking your own hike.
But you know what? He made some really stupid decisions, though.
Yes, he did.
And he even said that later, but we'll tell you that when we get there.
Yeah. Next day is Ebbett's Pass day. So up until we reach Ebbett's Pass, I don't remember anything other than hiking.
This is when this happened. This was this day.
This is the day that the thing happened?
Yes.
You want to tell them about the thing?
We stumble upon this like random ass figure in front of us.
All hunched over.
Wearing
Bigfoot's clothes and has Bigfoot's pack on.
Like going like 0.5 miles an hour.
And we reached the figure, and it was Bigfoot.
He's like hunched over. He can't even lift his head to us.
But it's like,
Poor Bigfoot.
and he had just done a shakedown hike in Kennedy Meadows North, and his pack was lighter. I mean, of course, he's still carrying a few days of food in it, but his back caught, and he asked me if I would just like stand on his back.
He literally was like, "Hey Yeti, can you do me a huge favor? Can you just step on my spine? I'm gonna lay down."
He got down on the trail, and we did a chiropractic intervention right there.
And it was a miracle.
Because it worked.
Bigfoot, he came back and he's like, "Oh my God." He was like fully himself again, like 6'5", 6'6". And I'm like, whoa, that was
It's
change.
like putting gasoline in the engine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I do remember leapfrogging a little bit with Mud and Mama Troll and Bigfoot.
Yeah, and I think we saw them at their lunch spot or something.
Yeah, it was like this cool outcropping in the middle of a canyon. And then the only other thing I remember is Ebbett's Pass. It was covered in snow.
And I was like, fuck the snow.
And like many of the passes in this area, so like the northern tip of the Sierras and getting into NorCal, passes tend to be roads, but you still have to climb and then descend to the road, which is what Ebbett's Pass was. Ebbett's Pass is a road. And we're about a mile out from the road or the pass, and we meet this other hiker. She's dressed in like all purple. She has a hat on. And there is a town close-ish to Ebbett's Pass called Markleeville.
We were not planning on stopping at all. Why did we decide to get off trail?
I don't know. We just wanted to go.
We just wanted to go see Markleeville. It wasn't we were just like, oh, we don't need anything. Let's just go. And so sweet, this woman, her
name is Amethyst.
Amethyst is her trail name. And she's so adorable.
She's still one of our biggest followers today.
Yeah. And we were like, hey, are you going towards Markleeville? And she's like, yeah, you guys want to get a ride? Because her car was like right there. And we were like, sure, why not? It was just so easy. It was so simple.
She was taking a different route than we took. She was like just off of the trail. She had to go pick up her truck. And she met us back on the PCT. And while we're sitting there waiting for her, the three guys catch up with us, Mama, Bigfoot, and all them. They almost take the bait and go to Markleeville, but they decide to keep going because they wanted to make some miles for something. So we go to Markleeville. We go into the brewery, as we do whenever we go to towns, to try and game plan and figure out lodging. You know who was there? You remember them?
Well, 17 and
17 and Tap Tap were at the brewery.
Yeah, I know. And so we got to hang out with them actually and have beer with them. We got to know them better, which was great. Yeah, we had a lot of fun just getting to know them. They're from Australia, very close to our age as well. And I was like, oh my God, another couple, we have like this cute little bond, and now we're hanging out with them in the brewery. There wasn't any other hikers, I feel like, there except for us. People didn't really go into Markleeville.
It's true, but they had the awesomest, that's a word, the awesomest little hotel / lodge. I think it was called the Markleeville Station or something like that.
Station motel or something. It was like you would look at it and go, that's a little questionable, maybe a little run down. Not like you wouldn't look at it and be like, oh, that's a really nice hotel.
No.
But
when you get inside.
But when you get inside the room, you're like, oh, this is actually kind of cute.
So like the check-in area is also a bar / restaurant.
Yeah, it's teeny tiny.
And the owner of the place does all the cooking. She has like daily specials.
And she does the housekeeping. She does everything. She runs everything.
Yeah.
She's just a local in Markleeville.
Honestly, it was the most comfortable bed that we slept on the entire PCT.
Probably since then. It's one of the most comfortable beds we've ever slept in.
I don't even know what it was.
It was so wonderful.
Yeah.
And I just remember she was really sweet too. But she's just this good old salt of the earth woman.
She was.
Grit kind of woman.
And we decided to stay here. She's talked us into dinner. She's got these custom like items that she's made for the day. It's like the day's special.
And the beer was cheap. It was like $5 or something, $5 a draft or something.
Lovely.
It was so cheap. So we were like, hell yeah, let's just drink and eat here.
And let me explain something before continuing further. So whenever you're hiking as a couple on these long trails, remember this is we're on day 94. So over 3 months into hiking this trail. And you're out there. You don't have cell service. You only have each other to talk to, which is what, we've only ever had until technology. But
Yeah. And we sometimes would listen to music if we were like had nothing else to talk about or nothing else to do. And we're like, I just need some music to give me some beat, to
Yeah.
help me get up a mountain or something. But we pretty much just talk to each other. And when we go to bed,
yeah,
we're talking to each other. When we wake up, we're talking to each other.
exactly. And so whenever we get to a town, we typically get on our phones.
To catch up on life. It's been, even though Kennedy Meadows North, they had shit cell service and really bad Wi-Fi. So we barely, like if we wanted to upload anything or download anything or call a friend or family, like, or text people and let them know, hey, we're still alive. It was very hard to do it there. So we didn't really do it in Kennedy Meadows North.
Yeah.
So we get to Markleeville and they had great Wi-Fi at this hotel. And we're like, oh, this is amazing. We can upload stuff. We can text people.
You're like texting family. I'm trying to write an Instagram post with pictures.
Yeah. And there is this man in there. He was drinking with his partner and we're both on our phones doing stuff. And he's like in his 50s and he's just this man that thinks he can just get into your business.
Yeah.
He thinks he can share his opinion and it actually matters.
Yeah.
And so he turns and looks at both of us and he's pretty much like, wow, you guys just on your phones? You going to talk to each other? And I gave him the death stare. And I looked at him and I said, we've been hiking a trail together for the last 3 months. We don't have cell service. We're finally in a town and have cell service. We literally probably talk more than you and your partner do all the time. I'm pretty secure in my marriage, so.
And right after he said that, his partner left.
Yeah, she left. She looked very mortified.
She looked mortified / embarrassed. And I remember now what you were on your phone doing. You were trying to figure out your sleeping mat because...
Oh, my sleeping mat fell apart. Yeah, I got a hole in it, and I couldn't figure out where the hole was, and I couldn't patch it. And you let me use your mat, and you were sleeping on a damn foam pad. And so I was trying to figure out my sleeping mat, and he makes this stupid ass comment.
It's like, you can go to the Ace Hardware and buy a valve and put it on there, right?
I was like, have you ever thru hiked? He's like, no.
You ever backpacked?
No. And I think I did say to him, you don't get an opinion in this decision.
I think you did.
I think I did. I
That's
was
pretty
so
awesome.
over it.
Yeah.
Because he just thought he could share all his opinions about us.
Yeah, so don't be that guy or that gal or that person. Just be nice.
I guess if you don't have anything nice to say about the people around you, well, I don't know. I don't have some nice things to say about some people right now. So maybe I shouldn't say that. That might not be a good motto.
Maybe don't.
Okay. Markleeville. We had great sex in this place again. Man, we had like double sex times.
You take opportunities as they present themselves. When you got to shower.
Maybe we were horny that day. We're like, we need a bed to have sex. It's really hard to have sex in a tent, to be honest, especially when all your friends are around you.
Yeah.
You can hear the mats squeaking. You can hear the tent shaking. It's not fun. I'm not going to lie.
Markleeville, we wrap up there. Had a great night's rest on this amazing mattress. The next day, what a cluster this turns out to be. We're trying to get a hitch out of Markleeville back to the trail, and we don't have a sign or anything. So I run into the post office to see if they have some cardboard and like a Sharpie that I can write a little sign with, and hopefully we'll get a hitch that way. And we do eventually get a hitch. We get a hitch from this old fella in a truck, and we tell him very explicitly where we need to go, but I guess he misunderstood because he drove us about 2 miles down the road, gets to a juncture, and I'm like, well, we need to keep going straight. And he's like, well, I got to turn left here. And he's like, well, I'm sorry, I can't take you all the way, which is fine, whatever.
Yeah.
And then he offers to give us some food. And the funny thing is, the food he tries to give us it's canned goods.
Canned vegetables.
And they don't even have like the peel off top. You got to have a can opener.
He's like, well, I don't know what else to give you, but maybe this will help you out. And we're like, no, we're okay. Like, we never even talked about food with him. That was the funniest thing. Like,
not once, no.
We had food.
Yeah.
But he was like, maybe some canned goods will help you out.
And so we turned down his canned peaches and vegetable medley. Sweet man. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, he was sweet.
And then we get picked up by this other guy who's playing hooky for the day to go fishing.
Yeah.
He picks us up in his little pickup and drives us all the way back to Ebbett's. Really nice fella.
Yeah.
And you know what? He was biracial. So DEI is not always a bad thing, is it? No.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I went there. No, we love all colors and all sexes of the world.
And all sizes.
And all sizes and ages. So thank you so much for the ride, bud. Appreciate you. If you're
Yeah.
listening, I doubt you are, but if you're out there.
If you're out there somewhere.
Yeah.
And if you got fired, we're sorry.
But otherwise, I don't remember much else about this day. In my notes, I wrote some mile marker number, Markleeville Wilderness, and sketchy traverses.
I don't remember anything, but you know what? If it's a wilderness, there were probably down trees.
Oh, yeah, probably.
We probably were going over a shit ton of down trees.
And you know why? Because if you're in a wilderness area, you can only use primitive tools to maintain and clear trails. So we're talking handsaw, not chainsaws.
Yeah. So if you see wilderness anywhere in your backpacking or through hiking moment, just get prepared that it's going to be bushwhacking or shitstorm
Or blowdowns.
or blowdowns.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
You know, I just remembered something too.
What?
So this happened not this day, but the day before when Amethyst picked us up and gave us a ride back to Markleeville. Do you remember that group of three? They were just skipping like 50 to 80 miles of the trail up to, what, Shasta?
Yes. They
Yeah.
had hitched a ride with Amethyst too, with
And
us.
they wanted to go to Shasta.
They were skipping a shit ton of miles. This is, you guys, why I get so crazy is because we would see these people posting on Instagram later at the terminus and being like, I hiked 2,653 miles. And I'm like, bullshit.
The fuck you didn't.
We saw you skip.
Yeah.
We saw you skip.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, I remember they were skipping hard. That
was a big skip.
That's more than 80 miles. That's like.
What is that? Ebbets Pass to Shasta? I don't
That's
even
like
know.
Hundreds.
We don't even get to Shasta in this week, so nothing else really to recall from this day. The next day, though, we get to Carson Pass, which is, again, a road. But we had to do this long climb for 5, 6, 7 miles, something like that.
It was terrifying.
Yes, and a lot of this area is either covered in really soft snow that you just punch through, or it's flooded.
Yeah, it's all melting.
And so you're climbing up to this ridge that'll eventually let you descend to Carson Pass the road. But this ridge has at least 3 really long snow-covered sketchy traverses. And I mean, there's nothing to catch you if you slip. So you just got to hope and pray that the person in front of you had big feet and then they left a big enough boot pack for you to get through.
And we didn't have spikes. I mean, which spikes wouldn't have helped anyway because it was so melting.
It was so slushy. Yeah,
it was just
wouldn't
slush.
And actually, whenever it's slushy on traverses, it's kind of helpful because you just punch through and you've got your own foothold right there.
But what I remember about this specific traverse in before Carson's Pass is we were not expecting this at all. And when we start to get on it, I just remember seeing a huge drop down and there's a river down there. And we were looking at this traverse and it was on this very sketchy rock cliff. And there's just like a chute down to the river. And I was like, should we just go down to the river and walk the river out? Because this is sketchy AF. And it was a very, very small, thin, God, I don't even know how to explain it. It was a small, thin snow patch to walk. And if you slipped, it's like,
you're going down.
it's a rock cliff.
Yeah.
And it was so sketchy. And we're like, well, we just got to get through because we're so close to freaking like.
I can see your gears trying to recall what happened this day.
No, I remember the mosquitoes coming, but we were trying to get off of it because we're so close to Tahoe.
Yeah.
And I just remember thinking, let's just power through and not think about the fact that this is such a sketchy traverse.
Uh-huh.
But then all of a sudden we hit like hundreds of mosquitoes.
Yes, we did. And I think at this point we've reached the Tahoe Rim Trail. So the PCT connects with the Tahoe Rim Trail at some point. And do you remember these guys? The guys were like asking us about our mileage or something, just making some dumbass comments about.
Wait, we're at the end at the road because wasn't there trail magic or something?
No, well, so as we're approaching Highway 50, Highway 50 is the road that you want to get to that takes you to South Lake Tahoe.
Yeah.
as we're like getting close to it, you're going through this area that's really half flooded, really half slushy, full of mosquitoes, and there are these like weekend warriors out there just asking us questions, and I can't remember what they asked exactly, but they were annoying the hell out of us, so we just ignored them.
Well, it's because we wanted to get to town.
Yeah, and we did. So we reconnected. We didn't reconnect. We connected with the Tahoe Rim Trail after we were just being devoured by mosquitoes. The Tahoe Rim Trail had recently experienced a burn.
Yes. It was so sad.
Just south of South Lake Tahoe. And they had done a little bit of trail maintenance, so they had done a little reroute, cut a lot of trees down, but the area was still scorched. It smells like char. It's just sad. We did get to Highway 50.
And we had done 23 miles this day. So we're like...
Yeah, almost 24.
Yeah, almost 24 miles. And still snow and slush. And that does slow you down.
Almost 4,000 feet of climbing. That ridge before Carson passed, it was a big one.
It was a big one.
Yep.
I do remember that climb now. I remember being like, man, I just want to get to town and get a beer.
Because we hadn't just had town
Not
and
like
beer
we
2
just
days
went
ago.
to town.
This is one of our less successful hitches. Our hitch into South Lake Tahoe. We were standing there for about 15 minutes, which is long for us.
No, it's very long for us.
Because you.
Well, think of it this way. We are a cute couple, and I always wore my hair in braids typically. And I would stand in front of Wesley, but we'd be together. And so we typically, put our thumbs out for hitches. And of course, I mean, I get it.
She would stand in first, like in front.
Yeah.
Always.
And I get it. I completely understand if a thru hiker is putting their thumb out and it's just a guy and I'm just a girl, I'm probably not going to pick him up. But if there's a girl, I am more than likely going to pick them up.
Yeah.
Just because then I feel safer if I'm a female.
Later on in our story, we end up having matching shirts.
So then we look even cuter.
At this point, we do not have matching shirts yet.
No, we don't.
But it took about 15 minutes.
Which was shocking for us. And there were a lot of people on this highway.
Yeah. We finally get picked up by someone with a canoe or a kayak on the roof of his little Jeep, I believe.
Yeah. He pulled over for us and he let us into his car, and
he had hiked the AT.
So come to find out, he'd hiked the AT. He's like, no, I think I'm done with through hiking. I think I'm more of a weekend person.
He gets more joy out of it.
Yeah.
And I get that.
Yeah. And come to find out, because he was like, well, where do you guys want me to drop you off at? And we're like, we don't know. Maybe a brewery. Like, we love breweries. And he's like, oh, no way. Well, okay, I'll drop you off at, what was it called, the brewery?
So he was the brewer at State Line Brewery in South Lake Tahoe.
Wasn't he the master brewer?
I think he was the master brewer.
Yeah.
So he takes us there.
Yeah.
And of course, we sit down and have drinks and eat, but he gives each of us our first 2 rounds for free.
Yeah, it was so sweet.
Yeah.
And it was a cool place. The beer was really good.
Yeah.
Food was really good. And then we booked a cute little hotel to stay in.
In Nevada,
because it crosses. So what I didn't know, and maybe everybody else knows this, but Tahoe, California-Nevada state line is pretty much in Tahoe.
Yeah. And
the Tahoe, California line, the hotels are way more expensive. And the Nevada line, they're way cheaper.
Yeah.
But it's literally right there inside of Tahoe.
So go check out State Line Brewery in South Lake Tahoe.
And that's why they named it State Line.
Now, it's unfortunate, too. We did not take a 0 in South Lake Tahoe.
We wanted to.
But we also wanted to get back out and continue hiking. We had just stopped in Markleeville.
Yeah, so we were kind of like, we don't really need to take a 0.
Yeah.
We got town hoggy.
Boy, we got town hoggy in this week, didn't we?
Well, because there were so many towns, and we were like, wow, they're so easy to get to.
Kennedy Meadows, Markleeville, South Lake Tahoe.
I know, all within a week. That's nuts. But it was so good for us, though, I think, mentally.
It was. And I don't know how this connection happened, but God, I'm trying to rack my brain right now. So we had 2 people help us in Tahoe. Do you remember? A younger girl and then an older lady. And the older lady is the one who dropped us back off at Highway 50 at the PCT the next day.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, so somehow we got connected with this younger girl who had done some hiking on some trail. I can't remember. And she dropped us off at a few places to run our errands for the day. That was good and great. We did a little resupply. I got some new gear at the local gear shop. I can't remember what we needed.
I needed a sleeping pad.
That was it.
So I got a
Nemo.
You
got the Nemo tensor.
That's when I got the Nemo.
Yeah.
Instead of my Thermarest. What a mess. Okay. Sorry, sleeping pad, because
Go
I
for
totally
it, go
forgot about
for it.
all this, is that I got a hole in my sleeping bag in the Sierra Nevadas and could not figure out where it was, couldn't patch it, and it kept just deflating overnight. And Sweet Wesley, somewhere around this world, decided to, because he could sleep so much better than me at night. And
Yeah.
I'm just a sensitive sleeper, and so I need everything just right. And
Princess and the Pea.
yeah, and so my thermarest is no longer inflating. So he let me use his thermarest while he slept on one of our accordion thermarests. It was one of the thermarest accordions, right?
Yeah, it's the Z Light, I think.
Yeah, the Z Light. So he slept on a Z Light while I slept on his blow up thermarest, and I had the yellow thermarest.
Mind you, my sleeping mat lasted the entire PCT and beyond, and the CT.
But I think it's because when I sleep, I'm like a frog. I throw my body in the air when I turn, and then I land. I'm not even kidding. It's like I'm like I lift myself up off the thing, and I turn to the side. But it's like a frog.
Words are hard.
I jump. I jump in my sleep is what I do. So I think I'm too hard on my sleeping pads.
I think you are. Next time I should just let you sleep on the foam.
No, see, that's probably why I get so bruised, because I'm jumping in my sleep. I'm turn jumping. So yes, I got the Nemo, and we did a couple of errands, and then we got back on trail.
Yep, and so the younger girl ran us to do our errands, and then I think I reached out on the Facebook page for the PCT, and an older lady picked us up, and she was hitting on me when I was sitting in the front seat with her.
That's what it was. She was very weird and
Yeah.
hitting on you. What did she say too?
I don't
She
remember.
like touched your leg, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
But she was driving us back to the PCT, and we had to stop at the post office so she could run some errands for herself. And yeah, I think she put her hand on my leg a few times.
A few times.
Yeah.
I was like, "What is she doing?"
That was pretty funny.
I was like,
Yeah,
"Bitch, you
I guess
better
I
back
still
up."
got it. Guess I still got it.
Yeah, with a cougar.
She does drop us off at the trail, and there happens to be trail magic literally right off of Highway
Oh,
50.
that's when the trail magic happened.
Yeah, they were out there grilling burgers and dogs.
And we didn't want it because we were like, wow, we just ate.
Well, we had just eaten sushi.
Yeah.
That's where she picked us up, was a sushi joint.
And then we were like, well, no, we should probably make some miles, because it wasn't it like the afternoon at that point, or noon or something.
Yeah, we had to wait until like 10 o'clock just to get into the gear store.
Yeah. So it was getting later in the day, and we were like, we should probably get out. So we didn't take any of the trail magic. It was so sad.
It was. So whenever you're at the Highway 50 mark and you're continuing north, you have to hike by the Echo Lake, like Lodge and Echo Lake. And as you're hiking past Echo Lake, you reach the Desolation Wilderness,
Which is one of the coolest areas.
Oh, it was so beautiful. Lake Aloha Lake.
Lake Aloha. Oh my gosh.
Which oddly enough is where somebody wound up dead.
Yeah, just like recently after.
Pretty recently after.
Well, no,
yeah.
it was after we had been there. Yeah, this guy drowned in the water or something. That was crazy.
Not sure how that happened.
Don't know, but
I mean, obviously drowning, but
yes. But this area specifically is known for being a high bear area.
yeah.
So a lot of people were trying to like keep their, like, everybody hung their bear stuff or had bear cans, or we did not have a bear can at this point. I think we just had our bear sack.
Yeah.
And we
we
hung
hung it up.
We did hang it up.
You're jumping too far ahead.
I
though.
know. But sorry, I'm going ahead. But let's come back, because I remember what happened this day.
Pull it back.
I'm pulling it back.
We're hiking along Echo Lake, and we're hiking about all these like really nice lakeside cabins for rent.
Yeah, and we've already been in this whole town hog
Bougie
world, and we're like, should we get a cabin?
We're like, nah. So we do continue hiking. We reach the Desolation Wilderness, and sitting on like the left side of the trail with a dog is this girl. She's Asian. We stopped to talk to her.
It was a husky.
She had a husky.
And so I freaked out, and that's why we started talking to her.
Yeah. And come to find out, her name was Michelle Lamb, or
Tahoe Dynamite. But also, we didn't have a husky yet.
We didn't have a husky.
We didn't
at this
have
point.
a husky. So I'm like, oh my God, you have a husky. And this dog seems to love to hike with you. And she's like, yeah, she's great to hike with. And So then she starts asking us questions about the PCT and how she's always wanted to do the PCT.
Yeah.
And we were like, you should do it.
And here, 3 years later, she's doing it.
She's doing it.
So get it, Tahoe Dynamite.
So proud of you.
Yeah.
And we had such a great talk with her that day, I remember. And we were climbing. It was a gradual climb. There was a lot of people doing it.
I don't remember this epic conversation.
No, I remember we had like a
I think you were talking
10-minute
to her,
conversation.
and I was like looking at the map or something.
That's probably true.
It's
and
probably
I was
very
asking
likely.
her questions about the husky, and then she was asking me questions about the PCT. But clearly, she's stuck in our world. We meet a lot of people, and we remembered her. And then when we started the podcast, she totally joined in.
She totally did,
love.
didn't she?
Yeah.
So continuing past Tahoe Dynamite, which was awesome to meet, we run across Gup. I don't know if you remember Gup from like weeks and weeks and weeks ago.
Remember the one who built the dam at the very beginning of all of this?
Gup Engineering.
Gup Engineering. So it was the most random moment. And did he start walking towards us or something? And we both were like, he
recognized us.
We haven't seen him in like 2 months.
He had been off the trail for weeks, and he was trying to rehab a knee or some injury on the Tahoe Rim Trail. And then he finally got back on the PCT.
And we were really worried about him too. It was like Cajon Pass area. Remember, like he was having a really hard time, and we were with him hiking, and we were really concerned about him and his health, and he was concerned. And so we hadn't seen him since then.
Yeah.
And I mean, the fact that we went through, like, we've gone through the Sierra Nevadas, we're now getting close to NorCal, and we run into Gup of all people. Sweet Gup.
Yeah.
It was, what a great moment that was, just getting to embrace him and celebrate with him. And he asked us all about how we were doing and what we were doing. And he's like, you guys are so amazing. I'm so proud of you. He's like a dad.
He is.
Like, he's in his 60s.
Sweet Mormon dad.
Yeah, he's Mormon, and he's just a sweet dad. He has like 4-5 kids or something.
So it was great. We spent about 15 minutes talking to him. And then we had to keep going because we had to get some miles.
Well, we had to just find a campsite, I think.
That's what we were gunning for, as a campsite.
Campsite. We knew there were campsites coming up, so we needed to go another mile or two to get those.
We had a campsite in mind. We get there, and it's completely booked, but it's completely booked by people we know.
By
Candy Salad, Moonbeam,
an old lady. And they're like talking it up with these guys. I was like, oh, are you guys flirting?
So we were forced to continue on, but it was so great to see them because we hadn't seen them in weeks.
I know. So we continue on like another mile, I think, and it's starting to get dark.
We get to this, what is it called? I think I wrote it down.
It was really beautiful, actually. It's like an alcove or something.
It was called Heather Lake. We camped right by Heather Lake.
And it was like a little mound, like an alcove thing. I think it was kind of protected.
Yeah, we were about 100 feet away from water. Always camp 100 feet away from water, at least. Ideally, 2. We hung up our baggies, and we were looking at far out comments for that like general area while we were sitting in the tent that night. We saw a bunch of notes about bear activity.
Yeah, and this one girl, a bear actually clipped her bear bag and took her food.
Yeah, that's a bummer. So I hung ours as best I could in the bear bags. We didn't have a bear can at this point. And I swear I heard bear.
I heard a bear too.
A bear walking around our camp.
Yeah, well, I heard one like snuff, like making noises.
Yeah.
And I think I woke you up at one point because I was like, babe, there's totally a bear. Like, I could not sleep that night because I was so scared a bear was going to take our food.
And I usually just stick my head out of the tent anyways.
Yeah.
And I guess that scares them off.
Yeah.
Or maybe there was never a bear there.
I don't know. That's like one of the heaviest bear areas of the entire trail. And so I'm sure we heard a bear too.
Because there's so many visitors there.
Yeah. And they don't probably do their food correctly. So the bear's like, hell yeah. But no, it was a beautiful spot. And
yeah, we nabbed a whopping 11.2 miles this day.
I mean, we did get out of town late, and also we ran into so many people.
We did.
We just were talking.
So we're on to our last day of week 14. This is day 98.
Yes, and we got up early that next day.
We did 25.3 miles this day. 4,400 feet of gain. Badasses.
And oh my God.
The Trinities.
I hate the Trinity Wilderness.
Why do you hate the Trinity Wilderness?
Because there's so many blowdowns.
We're in the Trinity Mountains at this point.
It is cool, but where we were in the Trinity Alps Wilderness, there's just so many blowdowns. Like I was crawling over trees continually. I was just over it.
But we had something to look forward to though. You had two friends from Bethel.
Yes. But the church I used to go to, well, it's such a long story, but one of the girls, her and I did ministry together in Pennsylvania. Like 10 years ago, we met. It was like a connection out of going on a trip to Israel and Palestine. And so I met her through this ministry, and her husband just so happened to live in this area that was close to the trail. And they were like, oh my gosh, we've been following you guys on the PCT and your Instagram posts and your Facebook posts, and we would love to help you any way we can.
Yeah.
And so I was like, sure.
So they offered to pick us up.
Yeah.
And they were going to take us to Redding.
They were going to take us to Redding.
So there is a Bethel, Atlanta, and there's a Bethel, Redding. And they just happen to live really close to Bethel, Redding.
Well, they went to Bethel, Redding, but Redding is the town.
Yes.
And they lived outside of Redding, actually. They lived closer into a mountain area that was closer.
Which is beautiful.
Yeah, closer to the interstate. Where we were.
And so this is like really close to Dunsmuir. And approaching Shasta, but not quite there yet. And this day, I don't have any other notes other than we're anticipating getting to Redding.
Did he pick us up that day?
No.
So we camped.
We camped
out there.
Yeah, we camped at a mile marker that I erased. And we are anticipating a lift into Redding. So this is like, I don't know, almost 4 towns in a week.
Y'all, we really towned it up.
Yeah, we were town whoring it up on this one.
I think it's because in the Sierra Nevadas we didn't have a lot of towns because you had to hike over a pass to get to a town. And so now it's like, oh my gosh, we have towns galore. Like
town
we
access.
we can just hitch and get into a town.
Yeah.
We don't have to go over a pass.
It was lovely.
It was really nice.
So we ended up doing 111 miles this week. Even though it sounds like we're just town putzing, we did 111 miles. We actually walked, I promise.
4 towns, 111 miles. That's actually quite...
Technically 3 towns.
Okay,
but
fine.
almost 4.
3 towns. And how much vert did we do?
Almost 20,000 feet.
Y'all, we climbing still.
We climbing.
We just climbed the whole trail, I think.
Yeah,
I don't think there was ever a downhill.
Well, there are at least 2 passes in this week. Ebbett and Carson?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Carson was actually a bitch. You're right.
It was a bitch.
So that concludes our week
14.
What? We hope you enjoyed it. And now we're going to transition to our environmental corner.
The new corner that she loves so much.
Well, and I just think, I don't want to get too political. I hate that it's even political.
You cannot have this category without going political.
Okay, you're right, because it's become political, but it should never have been political.
Yes.
We just really feel like there is a lot of information getting thrown into the atmosphere, and a lot of it is not factual. A lot of it, like, go and do your own research, but be very, very leery of where you hear information now. And I just cannot stress that enough. So we want to create this corner to give environmental facts about what is happening. And we hear a lot of things from this administration that they're just flat out lying about our environment and what we're experiencing in our environment. And so we just really want to create this little corner for people who are interested, want real information, factual information, because Wesley knows a lot.
I have 3 links and 3 tabs here that I can put in the show notes for y'all. The first one, so this really has to do with unleashing American energy, which involves the 31 deregulations from the EPA, and also a little bit about the USDA employees that were fired. So to start off with, I'm going to read straight off of the White House's website. And I'm going to insert my own commentary wherever I feel it's appropriate.
I love it.
So I'm just going to read. This is 1 sentence and 2 very short paragraphs, real quick. By the authority vested in me as president by the Constitution, and in parentheses, I'm going to add, he doesn't fucking obey the Constitution, and the laws of the United States of America, which he also does not abide by. It is hereby ordered that, Section 1, background, America is blessed with an abundance of energy and natural resources that have historically powered our nation's economic prosperity. In recent years, burdensome and ideological motivated regulations have impeded the development of these resources. Yeah, these regulations have tried their best to protect the health of our fucking country. Limited the generation of reliable and affordable electricity. Nothing seems to be affordable under the Trump administration right now. Anyways, reduce job creation. Well, it's hard to reduce job creation more than eliminating jobs, which his administration has also done quite well, and inflicted high energy costs upon our citizens. These high energy costs devastate American consumers by driving up the cost of transportation, heating, utilities, farming, and manufacturing while weakening our national security. He's literally projecting because he's done all these things regardless of what the EPA has done. It is thus in the national interest, oh, is it, to unleash America's affordable and reliable energy and natural resources. This also involves power plants, more deforestation, etc. This will restore American prosperity. No, it won't. Including for those men and women who have been forgotten by our economy in recent years. You mean the ones you just fucking fired and allowed Elon Musk to fucking fire? Veterans of our country who have served our country? Yeah, you're full of shit. It will also rebuild our nation's economic and military security, which will deliver peace through our strength. I believe we call that oppression, not peace. Anyways, there's another section. I'll post a link to this, but I'm going to segue. So part of this whole thing about making America prosperous again and unleashing America's potential is largely going to be enacted by deregulating the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, which was founded, back in 1970 by the Nixon administration. And the reason it was founded is because the American people realized that plants, the Industrial Revolution, all these different factories, things like that, they were destroying and polluting the environments that these people live in. We're not even talking in the middle of nowhere, saving the deer and the elk, where the antelope play. We're talking about literally improving the quality of cities and towns and neighborhoods where people live because they're noticing how toxic and polluted these areas are getting and that it's bad for their health.
Weren't people like getting sick and kids
Yes,
were getting
people
sick
were
and
getting
people were
sick.
dying?
And so they created the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, which is basically a gatekeeper for corporations and other entities that would otherwise have zero regulations on their emissions. And when I'm talking emissions, I'm talking air pollution, water pollution, ground pollution, you name it. And so I just want to list off some of the things that these 31 EPA deregulations will quote unquote address to make America more prosperous and better again.
I don't even know this.
Some of these deregulations, yeah, you don't know this.
Oh, no.
Reconsider power plant emission standards. Wow, that's great. I would like for my power plant emissions to be completely regulated and to be reduced to as little as possible.
Wait, they're just deregulating them. They're saying you can just have as many emissions as possible. Doesn't even matter.
Yeah, so they are deregulating all the EPA quote unquote cock blocks on a lot of these factories and plants.
Yeah, the money.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. There's 31 regulatory changes. Zeldin, Lee Zeldin, who is the agency administrator of the EPA, he doesn't even believe what he's saying. But anyways,
they just hired him to deregulate it. It's crazy.
I'll let you have your own opinion on that. Another thing is they're reconsidering toxic emission limits on power plants. Does that sound like something that you want to be less limited? Toxic emissions on power plants? How about reconsider wastewater rules for coal and other power plants? Do you want that stuff dumped in your watersheds?
I mean, everybody's going to need to saw your filtering off the tabs after this shit.
How about new uses for oil and gas wastewater? We'll see how that works out. Reconsider petrochemical emergency planning. So this is basically oil-based.
What does that mean?
Emergency planning. I don't know.
We should find out.
Reconsider petrochemical emergency planning. I wonder if it has to do with safeguarding stores of, well, I don't know. What does it say? The Biden administration tightened safeguards against accidents for industrial and chemical plants that millions of people live near.
So like oil spills and stuff.
The agency's risk management program added planning and reporting requirements for facilities and forced some to implement new safeguards. Accidents at these plants can be severe. A 2019 explosion in a Texas facility, for example, forced tens of thousands to evacuate, for example. Industry associations have criticized parts of the rule, such as requirements to publicly report sensitive information. So making them report their mishaps and mistakes.
So pretty much just saying, hey, it doesn't matter. You don't have to report it anymore. is what they're trying
Yeah.
to do.
Reconsider greenhouse gas reporting requirements because, well, guess what? Our commander-in-chief doesn't think that global warming and climate change is real.
He thinks it's a
So
hoax.
why would he care about greenhouse gas reporting?
Yeah. I mean, once it all burns to the ground, he'll be dead, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, I'm going to read this one. The EPA said it was reconsidering its mandatory greenhouse gas reporting program, which requires thousands of major industrial polluters to tell the agency about its emissions. Zeldin, who is in charge of the EPA, said the bureaucratic government program, in quotes, costs hundreds of millions of dollars and doesn't help air quality. Until now, the EPA said the data helped businesses compare their emissions for competitors and find opportunities to reduce them and lower costs. Reconsider light-duty, medium-duty, and heavy-duty vehicle regulations. Reconsider 2009 endangerment
no.
finding and regulations that rely on it. The scientific finding under the 2009 Clean Air Act determined that planet-warming greenhouse gases endanger public health and welfare. Go figure. It has been at the core of the nation's action against climate change. Trump had already directed the EPA to consider the findings' legality in the executive order. Experts say that the impacts of climate change on human health and environment are already clear and that upending the finding would be devastating.
I mean, let's just pause real fast.
Yeah.
Climate change. Let's give some examples of climate change in the last year. Hurricane Helene,
Hurricane Helene, the flooding of the East Coast.
the flooding of the East Coast, all the tornadoes.
Yeah.
We're seeing massive tornadoes on crazy scales. The fact that it snowed, my mother told me in Alabama, they had a tornado warning the night before and then it snowed the next morning.
Yeah, erratic weather.
Is that climate change?
Yes. Because global warming is global distribution or warming of the planet, which causes more erratic climate events or weather events.
It doesn't mean it's just getting hotter. It means that you can have an ice, like a complete freezing zone happen.
Well, you can have unnormal, erratic weather events happening in places where they don't normally.
Like snowing 12 inches in Louisiana or Florida, which happened.
Well, yeah, because weather events occur whenever cold or warm and hot air. Wait, what did I say? Whenever cold and hot or warm air meet, they form weather events. And that also involves precipitation in the air. That's how you get like rain.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm not going to read off all of these, but just to hit on one or two more. The deregulations end the Good Neighbor Plan. I'll let you look up and see what that is. The rule was intended to limit air pollution by restricting power plant smokestacks. So this has to do with residential areas, folks. Residential areas.
Suburbia.
I'm passing by at least 6 right there. Here's one. Overhauling social cost of carbon. Social cost of carbon is an EPA tool to weigh the economic costs and benefits of regulating polluting industries by putting a price tag on climate warming carbon dioxide emissions. Set at $190 per ton under the Biden administration. They want to limit that.
What does that mean?
That these facilities putting off carbon emissions, they're being charged $190 per ton of carbon dioxide
to try
emission.
to eliminate or like make it less so that they don't put so much out there.
Yeah, because they're having to pay for the emissions that they're releasing. And so they're trying to deregulate that. Go figure. And there are more. I'll put the link in the show notes and let y'all read this for yourself.
Quickly, can you explain, because I think you explained it so well, what global warming is?
Yeah. So global warming is the global distribution in degrees centigrade of increasing average temperatures. So again, it's in degrees centigrade because the U.S. decided to use Fahrenheit, which is completely against whatever the rest of the world uses.
Because the U.S. loves to be different.
So yeah, it is that increased global distributed temperature, which is a result of increased greenhouse gases. So
and what is greenhouse gases?
Carbon dioxide, methane, other carbon-based gases. You even have aerosols. So like whenever you spray your hairspray, that's an aerosol, or other types of aerosols. Those things get into the atmosphere.
What creates those? Give some examples of things that create those things, like cars. Or what are things that create greenhouse gases?
Aerosolized cans, methane. That's a production from soil microbes to cows to your own personal farts. Like
that's methane.
Methane is just a byproduct of basically internal biological reactions.
Okay.
Yeah. Carbon dioxide is going to be fossil fuels combustion, burning a campfire, so cranking your car, and you have exhaust coming out of your vehicle. Gas-powered stoves, things like that. But also natural things give off CO2 as well.
But we're just doing it in a bigger scale.
way bigger than natural processes. And so all that stuff gets up into the air and it creates a layer. So you have the sun, which is producing basically radiation, which is also heating the earth. So you have this energy coming from the sun down to our planet. You have things on the planet producing heat, not only like fires and the fact that we're producing heat as human beings, and all living things produce heat.
Trees too.
But the planet itself radiates heat. And the thicker those gases are up around our planet, the more the heat that is coming from our planet and being delivered to our planet from the sun is being trapped close to the planet. And so the thicker the gases are, the less they dissipate, the hotter it gets around our planet on a global distribution. So that is global warming. And the increased temperatures cause a whole bunch of issues, but what we're seeing like right now is these erratic weather events. And the fact that we are like starting to see spring at the end of March in Colorado.
Yeah. We're not getting, that's true. Well, okay. So then something like pollution or these like power plants, are they releasing CO2 on a massive scale? Is that?
Well, they're releasing CO2 on a massive scale. Yes. And if you deregulate that, then they're going to be releasing more.
Yeah.
And they are also deregulating like the disposal or deposition of the waste.
Yeah.
So that's going to go into watersheds, which not only is water that we drink that'll need to be purified, but that is also water that we swim in. That's water that we fish from. That's water that feeds the vegetation around those watersheds. You just have this cascade of events happening here.
I mean, what that can do to the ecosystems around
It's
them.
literally the fucking Lorax parallel from Dr. Seuss's The Lorax. You cut down all the trees, you pollute and you devastate your planet, and you have nothing but a wasteland left.
Man, Dr. Seuss was prophesying.
Dr. Seuss nailed it.
He nailed it a long time ago.
Dude, I'm going to start calling it the Lorax parallel, because that's
Lorax
what's happening.
parallel. That's literally what we're about to enter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for explaining.
Yeah.
Wesley's a scientist and I'm not, so I don't understand half of these things.
There's a lot more to it, but I'm trying to explain it in like a way that everybody can kind of understand.
For dummies like me.
I won't even say for dummies, just for non-scientists.
Yeah.
I do want to end on a good note. And this is like a fuck you to Elon Musk and Donald J. Trump and and the teddy bear, J.D. Vance.
The teddy bear?
Yeah.
Wait, he's called a Care Bear, I thought.
Care Bear, yeah. He looks like a freaking Care Bear. There's about 6,000 employees that were fired from the USDA. The USDA is like the umbrella institution for other companies like the Forest Service, National Park Service, etc. And about 6,000 employees who are in their probationary period are now going to have to be rehired. And not only rehired, but they're going to be given a month of back pay for the month that they were fired.
Yay!
So. I just want to talk about how efficient that is from the Department of Efficiency. Firing and then rehiring a month later.
And having to pay them all.
But also having to pay them all a month of back pay.
So you didn't really save a lot of money there.
Didn't really save a lot of money, but I'm super glad that these probationary employees are back, even if they're most likely to be refired again.
At least they'll get something.
At least they'll get something, and maybe some more positive work will get done while they're still employed.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That's a good positive note.
I will put links to all three of these different sites that I was referencing in the show notes, and I hope that y'all enjoy this environmental corner today.
Yeah, and if you ever have any questions about the environmental corner, just shoot them our way. Like email us, or if you have any questions about hiking too.
Yeah.
But email us at yetiwalksintobasecamp@gmail.com or DM us on our socials. And we would really love to kind of hash this out with you guys because, like I said, I do feel like there's a lot of fake information out there. And we are in a time where you really need to gather your facts. And don't just listen. Don't take it with a grain of salt. Don't even take what we're saying with a grain of salt. Like,
do the research on
do
your
the
own.
research and figure out what is truth and what is fact. Because there's a lot of non-facts just swirling around in the atmosphere right now. I mean, the fact people literally thought people hadn't been fired. like people actually thought that people hadn't been fired from the USDA and were asking me questions and we're like, well, do you have proof that they've been fired? And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, this is a real thing that happened, but news sources aren't fully sharing
Yeah.
Like certain news sources aren't fully sharing information right now. And that's actually a really scary place to be.
Isn't it?
And so we want to be able to share information, especially about the environment that we know and Wesley knows
Yeah.
to be true and factual.
If you got any questions, just let us know.
Yeah.
If I don't know anything about the topic, I'll learn all I can and try and break it down in layman's terms.
Yeah. Or maybe we can even bring someone on the podcast that may know.
Yeah. Like
Some
Wes
other
Larson.
scientist. Wes Larson.
Yeah. Animal biologist, bear biologist.
Yeah.
That being said, let's wrap it up.
Yeah. Pizza time.
It's time for pizza.
We got to cook it.
Thanks for listening to our podcast. Thanks, Charlotte. Thanks, AJ, for editing our episodes. Y'all are amazing. And thanks to The Fire Once Lost. We have in a few weeks a new episode, or not a new episode, a new song to release. And
We're really excited about.
We were given permission to kind of give a teaser and talk about it here first. So we're looking forward to letting y'all hear that. Go check out The Fire Once Lost on Spotify or wherever you get your music.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much. And as we like to say in the hiking community,
Happy trails.
trails.